therapeutic yoga practice. We're going to start reclined, and what you should have nearby for this stage of our practice is a yoga strap with a loop in it that's going to go over both of your legs, and a yoga block or an optional weighted ball. Just have those within reach, and then come on down onto your back. Alright, so I get requests a lot to do yoga therapy for your pelvis. Your pelvis is a complicated system of bones and muscles and ligaments and nerves, and it interconnects with your back, interconnects with your legs, obviously, and a lot of things can go wrong. So when we talk about therapy for your hips, it's not one size fits all. You really have to be really mindful of your own body and do a little experimentation. Try and see what works. So take a deep, slow breath in, all the way into your lungs, down into your belly, up into your chest, and a slow, deep breath out. Relax your chest, relax your rib cage, let your belly empty out of that breath. And do that again. A deeper breath in. Breathe down as though you could breathe right into the basin of your pelvis. And a slow, deep breath out. Relax between your frontal hip bones. Relax your navel. Relax your spine. Let's take another slow, deep breath like that. Breathe all the way in. This one, when you get to the top, hold it in for just a moment, the best you can. And then sigh it out through your mouth. And pick your feet up, hug your knees in, give yourself a gentle little rock side to side. Massage your lower back, lengthening your lower back into the mat just a little bit. Good. And then with your hands on your kneecaps, I'm going to stir some circles around, both knees moving together. We'll circle into the back of your pelvis now, your sacrum, your SI joints. Let's change direction. Feel that sensation of the back of your pelvis connecting to the mat as you circle around. Now, drop your feet down. We're going to do a few pelvic tilts. Rest your hands on your lower belly. As you inhale, tilt your pelvis forward very gently until your low back arches away from the mat. As you exhale, relax first. Don't lift your pelvis up, but hollow in between your frontal hip bones. Try to lift your pelvic floor muscles and flatten your low back into the mat. So now we move a little bit as a flow. An inhale to arch forward, and an exhale to relax first, and then imagine hollowing down in the deepest pit of your belly. Squeeze way down in and use your pelvic floor muscles. So let's take just a few. This is a nice way to both get your deep core muscles turned on, which helps support your pelvis, and a nice way to start to mobilize your sacrum and your SI joints. So your sacrum is the wide triangular bone at the back of your pelvis, and it connects your pelvis into your spine. And your sacrum can get really stiff, and what we're doing is tilting our pelvis back and forth, starting to mobilize that connective tissue, the back of your pelvis connecting into your spine. So pelvic tilt's really good for low back health too. But in particular, feel the back of your pelvis. Let's try 2 more rounds there. This is really simple, but you're really hollowing in, getting your deep abdominal muscles engaged on those exhalations. Let's try 1 more now. Good. Feel that deep core engagement. That's important for where we go next. Now, relax and take either a yoga block between your knees, or if you have a weighted ball, 2 to 4 pounds would be fine. You could use that instead. Pick your feet up and make a little cannonball shape with your legs. So your knees are bent, you've got a yoga block or a weighted ball between your knees. Now interlace your hands behind your head. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hover your head and shoulder blades off the ground and slowly squeeze your prop between your knees and tap your toes down to the ground, and then squeezing your deep belly, pull your knees back into that cannonball shape. So take a breath in, and we're going to go again. If you want more challenge, tap your toes further away from your pelvis, really squeezing your low belly in. Inhale, bring your knees back up. And we keep going. Exhale if you want even more challenge, then it's a low boat. You're straightening your legs, and the lower they go, the harder it gets. So if you need to set your head and shoulders down in between repetitions here, please feel free to. If you want more challenge, you're keeping your head and shoulders lifted the whole time. You should not feel your lower back arching away from the mat. You should be connected from the back of your pelvis up through your lower back, even as you tap your toes or stretch your legs out and lower them down. Good. So we've got just 3 more. Relax your jaw. You should really be feeling that hollowing in sensation that we were creating with our pelvic tilts. Good. Hollow in, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Your inner thighs are engaging as well. Last one here. Doing great. Squeeze and hollow. Good. Set your head down. Take your prop out. Set it to the side. Hug your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Good. Now we're going to do a reclined frog pose here. Widen your knees apart. Widen your feet apart as well. So make it a little tadpole shape with your legs, your shins roughly parallel with each other. And you might keep rocking a little bit side to side. You might get a good stretch by pulling your knees toward you wide, or by moving your knees away from you a little bit forward in space. See where you get a nice inner thigh release. And we'll take another slow, deep breath into that. Good. And then set your feet down, feet wide still, knees bent. Windshield wipers. Open your arms wide. Inhale, sway your knees to the right. Turn your chin to your left shoulder. And exhale, sway your knees up and to the left. Turn your chin to your right shoulder. So side to side with your breath. Bring your attention down into your hip sockets, in and around your hip sockets. Pay attention to the feeling inside your joints. So we're mobilizing the joint with these windshield wipers, also massaging your outer hips and your glutes, the back of your pelvis. Might be getting a little stretch down through your hip flexors, across the front of your pelvis, across your hip creases, maybe even down your thighs. You might, if you're feeling tight, feel the tension in your outer hips, outer thighs, and in your inner hips, inner thighs. Hopefully starting to loosen up some of that tension. Let's take one more round here. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to letting go of tension in our pelvis. Now, come back to center and find your strap. And I have a really wide version of a strap that I'm using today, but it's the same principle. You're going to pull the loop in your strap up over your legs, just above your knees, and we're going to bridge with this strap on. Adjust your strap so that when you push your knees out against your strap, your outer knees are in line with your outer hips. Take your arms to a Shavasana shape on the floor. Feet are flat on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Feet are on the ground. Now as you exhale, lengthen your tailbone and lift your hips up. Hollowing in between your frontal hip bones the way we practiced already. Take a deep breath in. Push out as symmetrically as you can with your 2 legs against your strap. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Now we're going to lift as we inhale. So inhale, lift up, push your legs out against the resistance of your strap. And exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Keep going with your breath. Even if you only lift an inch, you'll be working the back of your pelvis, strengthening your glutes in conjunction with your outer hips and thighs. Those are your abductor muscles, crucial for hip stability and lower back stability. You really want to be working on that deep belly support as you go. So don't lose connection with that sense of hollowing in between your frontal hip bones and your deep belly. Pelvic floor lift helps quite a bit with that stability. As you push down with your feet into the mat, you're also pushing out with your thighs into the resistance of your strap. And that will cause your outer hips to hug in, so you'll get stronger in your outer hips. Good. Breathe deeply. We've got 2 more rounds. Doing great. Good. And last one like that. Slow, deep breath as you do it. Perfect. And then pick your feet up, pull your strap or band off, hug your knees in, and give yourself a rock side to side. Good. Now, set your feet down and roll over onto your right side. Roll onto your right side, and if it's comfortable for your body, support your head with your right hand or with your right forearm tucked under. If that's not comfortable, get a blanket or pillow or a yoga block to put under your head. Now, bend your knees. We're going to do a version of clamshells here. Line up your shoulders, your hips, and your heels. Stack your feet, stack your knees, and then lift your lower legs off the ground so your kneecaps are pointing down. Now, squeeze your heels together and inhale, lift your top knee up and lower it down. Keep lifting your lower legs and feet off the ground, and exhale, lift that top knee up, lower it down. Take a peek at your pelvis. Your pelvis, left hip should be stacked right over top of your right hip, so you're not rocking your hips back. As you clamshell open, keep your hips stacked, one on top of the other. Hug your low belly in. Try to picture that little bit of hollowing effect that we've been working on, pelvic floor muscles lifting. Good, breathe. These are a little harder than normal clamshells because we're lifting our lower legs off the ground. That makes you work both outer hips and thighs as you do them. Here comes your last round. Doing great. Heels squeezing together, low belly in. Good. Whew. Set it down. Now, straighten your legs out and find a way to get your top leg out of the way, your left leg out of the way. So I've just bent my left leg and put my left foot down on the ground, flat on the ground, sole the foot down in front of my right leg. But if that's not comfortable to you, you could drop your knee down or you could step your foot behind. Should still be lying on your side. Flex your right foot, straighten that leg, take a deep breath and hug your belly in. And as you exhale, we're going to start to do little pulses, lift and lower, pulse, pulse, pulse with that bottom leg. Good. Inner thighs engaging. Good. Stay on your side. Don't rock back onto your back. Hug your low belly in. Switch to a pointed foot and keep pulsing, getting your inner thighs to contract, contract, contract as you go. Relax your jaw. 3, 2, 1, and set it down. Now, stretch that left leg out long again and put a little bend in your right knee. We're going to do one more side lying pose here. These are long leg lifts, but we're going to back that leg up a little bit into the back plane. So move your left leg an inch or two back behind you. Hug your belly in. Rotate your knee cap and your toes down. Now inhale, lift that top leg up without letting your toes and knee rotate toward the ceiling. Lower it down. And let's do one as we exhale. Lift up and lower down. Find your low belly support again. Good. As you lift, you should be feeling your outer hip contract as well as your glutes, less so your quadriceps. Less so the front of your thigh. Good. So take a peek at that left leg. Make sure it's a little bit into the back plane, a little bit back behind your pelvis, not right in line with your pelvis. A little bit back, toes and kneecap pointing down. Last 3, keep breathing deeply. 2, good, relax your jaw. And 1, perfect. Bring it down. Bend both knees, stack them up, pull them over to the right, and we're going to spinal twist. Rock your upper back to the left. Reach your left arm out to the left. Turn your chin, if you can, to the left. If your hips don't feel very comfortable while your knees are stacked up here, let your knees slide apart and let your pelvis rock back a little bit. You can always find a prop to slide between your knees or to prop up underneath one knee, your outer knee in this case, outer right knee, if you need to, in a spinal twist to get comfortable. Now relax, let your left outer hip and thigh lengthen. Breathe deeply, give your body a moment to process what you just did. And we'll take another slow, deep breath like that. All the way in, all the way out. And then rock back onto your back when you're done. Shift to center, pick your feet up, and hug your knees in. Rock a little bit, side to side. And then drop your feet, roll over onto your left side. I'm just flipping around so I can keep my eye on you guys. So you're going to hold your head with your hand. Every once in a while somebody comes unmuted for some reason. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with our Ballerina Clamshells. Lift your lower legs off the ground. Inhale. We lift that top knee, heels are squeezing together, low belly in, and then exhale, do another one. Good. Relax your neck. Squeeze your low belly in. Lift that right knee up. Lower it down. Exhale, lift, and lower it down. Your kneecaps are tilting down when both knees are together. Lower legs and feet really lifting up off the ground. Make sure that top hip, your right hip, stays stacked right over your left hip. Low belly hugging in. Good, we're almost there. We've got 2 more rounds. Perfect. And 1 more. Good, and drop everything down. Straighten out both legs and get your right leg out of the way somehow. So you can bend your knees, set your foot in front or behind, or drop your knee down. Now flex that left foot. Take a deep breath and really straighten that left leg. And as you exhale, you're going to start to pulse, lift and lower, lift and lower. My pulse is going at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can go a little slower if you need to. Hug your low belly in. Make sure you're lying on your side. Point your toes. Straight leg, keep pulsing. Relax your jaw. Low belly squeezing in. Notice if you've rocked back onto the back of your pelvis. Try to get onto your left hip. 3, 2, 1, and drop it down. Now, stretch that right leg back. Hover it off the ground and put a little bend in your bottom knee. We're going to move that right leg into the back plane. Angle your toes and knee down. Pull your belly in. Inhale, lift up until you feel resistance. Lower down. And exhale, lift up. Lower down. Lift from your outer hip and the back of your hip and thigh, not so much from the front. Good. Notice if that right leg is creeping forward. Keep it a little bit back in the back plane. Such good therapy. You're strengthening your glutes, you're strengthening your abductors, you're also mobilizing your joint as you go. Make sure you're using your deep belly for support. Relax where you can relax. Your neck and shoulders and your jaw. Last 2 rounds. Doing great. Last one. Good, and lower it down. Bend your knees, pull them up into the left, and we spinal twist. Reach your right arm up into the right. Turn your chin to your right. You can keep your knees closely stacked, or you can slide them apart. You can add props anywhere that is comfortable to your body. Now breathe and give yourself a moment where your muscles rest. You're not working your muscles here, just for the moment. And breathe all the way in as you inhale. Relax your outer right hip. Breathe all the way out as you exhale. And we'll take 1 more breath like that. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. And this time rock back onto your left side and push yourself up. We're coming over onto hands and knees. Hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, option 1, child's pose. Hips back to your heels, bow down. Option 2, downward facing dog. Hands go about shoulder distance apart. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up. Stretch your hips up and back. Whichever one you choose, child's pose or down dog, breathe. Both poses will lengthen your spine. You have to deliberately think about that if you're choosing down dog. Really use the strength of your arms and shoulders and upper back to help you stretch your hips up and back. At the same time, reach your heels back and down. You might be walking in place a little bit. You might shake your head out no and yes a few times, then relax your neck. And let's take another slow, deep breath. All the way in, all the way out. Good. Lower down to hands and knees, or come up to hands and knees, and then let's come onto our bellies. Come on down to your belly, and we're going to come into a crocodile pose. Stack your hands or forearms, make a pillow, rest your chin or your forehead. Bend your right knee and flex your foot. Take a deep breath in. We're going to do some little glute pulses here. As you exhale, hollow your low belly in first, and then lift your knee off the ground. Press your heel toward the ceiling. Lower it back down, and then inhale, do another one. And lower it back down. So keep going. 1 on an exhalation, low belly hugging in, lower down, and 1 on an inhalation. And lower down. Relax your jaw. Don't lose the support, that hollowing effect, the support of your deep belly, but feel the squeeze and release of the back of your pelvis. Last 2 rounds like that. Lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. We change sides. Right leg straightens, left knee bends. Deep breath in. Hollow your low belly. Lift, exhale, and lower. And then inhale, lift, and lower. Good. Keep going with your breath. Squeezing in through your lower abdomen so that your low back is not getting compressed. Your low back will engage. It will contract and release as you do this, but the primary movers should be the back of your pelvis and the back of your thigh. Your glutes and your hamstrings. Heading into our last round, last 2 rounds that is, keep squeezing in through your low belly. Squeezing in. Good. And then straighten that left leg, bring your hands to your side ribs, press up and back, and again, 2 choices. Child's pose for a moment, or downward facing dog for a moment. Good. Breathe. I can always feel in my down dog after I've contracted my hamstrings, how much easier it is to really press my thighs back and lengthen from my sit bones down to my heels. So if you're working down dog, try to feel your thigh bones moving way back in space. Good. Take a deep, slow breath in, all the way out. We're going to meet on hands and knees, and we're coming up to stand at the back of our mat. So tuck your toes under, walk your hands towards your knees, come on up to stand at the back of your mat. And separate your feet about to the outer edges of your mat. So that might be about shoulder distance, maybe even a little bit wider. Take your hands to your lower back, fingertips point down. Pull your low belly in and up. Inhale, take a little baby back bend, like a standing camel. And as you exhale, bend your knees a little bit and reach down towards your right foot. Then come right back up, hands to your lower back. Inhale. Use your low belly for support, and exhale, reach down for your left foot. And we go back and forth here. Inhale, come on up, little back bend. Exhale, you might not need to bend your knees. You might be able to keep straight legs. See how it feels, reaching toward your right foot. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, reach down for your left foot. Let's do that again. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, reach down for your right foot. Come on up. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, reach down for your left foot. Come on up. Inhale, little back bend, and then exhale, relax. Step your feet to hip distance apart. And we're going to stand on one foot for this flow. So if that is a challenge for you, step your left side close enough to hold a wall or a chair, a piece of furniture. So we're going to stand on our right foot first. Stretch your left leg back behind you. Inhale, take your arms out and up. And as you exhale, bring your left knee up. If you're holding on to something, just hold on to it. But if you can, you're going to grab your thigh with both hands and pull up. Now inhale, stretch that left leg back behind you. Take your arms out and up again. And as you exhale, a little baby warrior 3. Lift your left leg up behind you, hinge from your hips, keep your core tight. If you can keep going deeper and deeper, then fine. With a flat back, come on up to stand, tap your toes down. Now we move as a flow. Inhale, arms up with your left leg back behind you. Exhale, left knee comes up. Inhale, arms up, left leg extends behind you. Exhale, a mini warrior 3 or maybe a full warrior 3. Come on up. Inhale, left toes behind you, arms up. Exhale, pull your left knee into your chest. Inhale, left leg behind you, arms up. And exhale, warrior 3. Let's try one more round. Come on up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left knee pulls up. Inhale, extend behind you, arms up. And exhale, warrior 3. Come on up to stand. Shift side to side a little bit, shake your legs a little bit, and we'll get set up to do that again. All right, so right foot extends behind you and tap your toes down, squeeze your glutes a little bit. Inhale, take your arms out and up, and as you exhale, bring your arms down and pull your right knee up, holding on to your thigh if you can. Inhale, extend behind you, arms come out and up. Exhale, use your glutes and hamstrings. Hinge from your hips. We go slow in this first round. You might just tip a little bit. If you can get in there deeper, we're fine. Now we move as a flow. Come on up. Inhale, arms come up. Right foot tapping behind you. Exhale, right knee comes up to your chest. Inhale, extend behind you, arms out. And up, exhale, warrior 3. tiny or deeper, you decide. Come on up, inhale. Right leg behind you, exhale. Pull your knee up. Inhale, extend, try to straighten that right leg a little bit. Use your low belly for support. Exhale, warrior three. Reach for the floor, one more round. Inhale, low belly hollowing in a little bit. Exhale, bring your right knee up. Inhale, extend that right leg, arms up. And exhale, warrior three. Good, come on up to stand. Step your feet out. Getting ready for horse stance, out to about 3 to 4 feet in distance. Angle your toes out and your heels in. Take your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees and try to widen your knees apart. If your knees are knocking inward, adjust your feet. Don't take your toes out quite so far because that will take a toll on your knees. Now, we're going to do a little bit of abduction balance here. So straighten your legs, shift your weight to your right leg, step your left foot in a little bit, and then see if you can lift from your outer left thigh, arms go out wide. Take a breath in, exhale lightly, horse stance. Inhale, shift to your left foot, and then if you can hover that right leg off the ground, use your core, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lightly come down, horse stance, toes out, heels in. Inhale, step in, hover if you can. Exhale, lightly, horse stance. Inhale, right leg hovers, even just for a hot second. Exhale, horse stance. We do a few more rounds. Inhale. Good. I call this dancing sumo. Good. Inhale. And exhale. One more round. Inhale. Good. Exhale. And last side. Inhale. Good. Sumo. Good. Straighten your legs, heel toe your feet together or hop your feet together. We're going to get a quad stretch here. So if you need a strap to be able to reach your foot, find your strap. Let's stand on our left foot first. So you can stand with your left side close enough to hold on to something if you like. Pick your right foot up, grab your right foot or ankle, pull in until you get a quad stretch. And then pull in and up through your low belly. Lift your posture, drop your shoulders. Start to breathe. Standing on one foot can be great therapy for your pelvis, but you have to pay attention. Instead of sagging into your left hip socket, hug your outer left hip in and try to lift your body up and out of your pelvis. Try to picture the muscles all the way around your left hip supporting your left hip socket. So the front of your hip, the side of your hip, the back, your inner thighs as well. Try to hug in from all sides around. At the same time, you're getting that released on the front of your right hip and thigh. Let's take another slow, deep breath here. Good. And then set it down. Shift your weight a little bit if you need to. Shake your legs a little bit, and let's change sides. Pick your left foot up. When you're ready, you can use a strap or reach down with your hand. Pull your heel in. Lift your posture. Drop your shoulders. And then if you're balancing, fine. If you're holding on to something, try to hold lightly. So you work your stabilizer muscles a little bit, but start to picture hugging in from all sides around, especially that outer right hip. That's where we tend to cave a little bit. Start to cock our hip out to the side and lose support. So hug in, low belly pulls in, inner thighs engaging, glutes and hamstrings a little bit. Your heel is grounded down. On that right side, breathe slowly and deeply. Keep picturing yourself lifting up and out of your pelvis, your whole spine lengthening and growing longer. Let's take another slow, deep breath there. Good. And then bring it down. Give your legs a shake. Good. We're going to do 2 more standing poses here. The first one is a side lunge. Step your feet out as wide as you can comfortably go on your mat. Turn your right foot out to the right halfway and make your left foot parallel with the short edge of your mat. Now, bend your right knee, stick your butt out behind you. You can put your hands on your right thigh, or you can take your hands down to the mat or put your hands up on a yoga block if you need to. We're in a half squat on this right side, and really move your weight back into your right heel. So your hips are sticking way out behind you. Then as you sink down, straighten your left leg. Look for an inner thigh stretch on that left side. Relax your neck, but squeeze your core in. Your back should be flat or as flat as you can make it. Breathe deeply. You are strengthening that right hip while you're stretching your left inner thigh muscles here. So again, try to feel the muscles all the way around your right hip, helping to support. If you are feeling your weight moving all the way into just one part of your right hip, try to redistribute that weight a little bit. Let's take another slow, deep breath on this side. And then straighten both legs, parallel your feet, take your hands to your hips, and come on up to stand. Heel toe or hop your feet together, and find your chair or stool or whatever you have to play with. So we are going to do a lunge for that right side, the one you just did the half a squat on. So you might add some padding if your chair or stool is not very soft. I just added a stadium cushion to mine. All right, you're going to set it down and put your right knee on your chair. You can hold the back of the chair and step your left foot forward in space, and we're doing a little lunge on the chair. How deep you lunge depends on how tight your muscles are and how your lower back responds to lunging. So you might even keep your front leg straight. Shift your hips back a little bit. It will be less of a stretch. Or you might start to lunge forward. Don't let your left knee come forward of your left ankle, and start to pull your lower abdominal muscles in and up. Just gently. That right knee is on the chair. Squeeze your right side glutes. Shouldn't be a big clench, but just a little bit of a squeeze. And then if you can let go of your chair, take your right arm up by your right ear. Lift and lengthen up the front of your hip and thigh, up through your deep belly, all the way up to your rib cage. And breathe there for a moment. Relax your shoulders down. Let your breath stay really steady. I've got 2 more breaths here. Deep as you can. 1 more. Good. Bring your arm down. Step yourself off of your chair. Move it to the side for a moment. Good. Step out wide on your mat, as wide as you can comfortably go. Turn your left foot halfway open to the left. Make your right foot parallel with the short edge of your mat. Bend your left knee, side lunge. Stick your butt out, lean your chest forward. Hands can rest on your thigh, or hands come down to a prop, like a yoga block, or down to the mat. Now, if you're not getting an inner thigh stretch, widen your feet wider apart. And as you sink down, put your weight way back in your left heel. Good, so that will help you turn on your glutes and hamstrings, so it's not just your quadriceps on the left side that are supporting that half of a squat. So try to picture all of your muscles around that hip and thigh, inner thighs, glutes, and hamstrings supporting you. Pull your belly in a little bit. You're lengthening and opening the inseam of your leg on the right. Relax your neck. Breathe. Good. Keep pushing your pelvis back in space a little bit. It will help keep your weight out of your kneecap. Almost there. Good. 1 more breath. And then straighten, walk your hands to center, parallel your feet, hands to hips. Come all the way up to stand. Heel toe or hop your feet together. Grab your chair or whatever you're using for your lunge. And put your left knee on your chair. Step your right foot forward and off. You can keep that right leg straight if you need to. There'll be a subtler lunging experience. Or you can bend your right knee, and the more you bend, the more you need to wiggle that right foot forward out in front of you so your knee doesn't come past your ankle. The deeper you lunge, the lower your pelvis goes, the more you're going to start to feel a stretch in the front of your hip and thigh. Squeeze your glutes a little bit. Pull your lower abdominals in a little bit. Your back should be able to relax here. And if you can let go of the chair, your left arm goes up. Good. That will help you lift up and out of your pelvis. Stretching open your hip flexors. Breathe very deeply and slowly. All the way in and all the way out. Good. Keep your whole spine really long. And here comes 1 more breath. Good. Bring your arm down if it's lifted. Step yourself off of your chair. You can move it to the side. Good. Come right down to your mat, onto your butt, legs out in front of you. Whew. Good. Okay, now we're going to do a turtle pose here. So you're going to make a long diamond shape with your legs. Long diamond shape with your legs. You might shift your hips up onto a blanket, or you might just reach down and tilt your sit bones back so your pelvis can tilt forward. If your knees are in any way bothered, stuff something, a couch pillow or something like that under each knee. Take your arms up when you're ready, inhale, and exhale, hinge forward and bow out over your legs. Bow your head in. If you can reach your feet, grab hold. You can hook your elbows if it's comfortable outside your shins. I like to do that and then pull back with my elbows against my shins to help me get a little longer in my back. So you may be feeling mostly your back muscles lengthening, or you may be getting a nice outer hamstring stretch, maybe even outer hip stretch, depending on how you store tension. Breathe deeply. Good. Almost there. Breathe all the way in, all the way out. Let's take one more breath like that. And then slowly bring yourself up to sit. Bring your knees together. Give yourself room to recline. Come down onto your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. See if you can get a stretch that way in your outer right hip. And if you can't, pick your left foot up and hang on behind your left thigh. You could put a prop underneath your left foot to bring your legs partway up to you. Good, so we've got a reclined pigeon. Hopefully a stretch for that outer right hip. As gentle as it needs to be. So keep your left foot on the floor. Even if you're dealing with an injury, back that left foot off a little bit and give yourself just the mildest of stretch. But if you're hugging in, consider a gentle little sway side to side, which can help you get a little bit deeper into those layers of muscles known as your external rotators. There's a whole slew of them there in your outer right hip. And they like to try to get away from this stretch. So if your legs are rocking off to the right and you're losing stretch, try to rock your legs a little bit off to the left and see if you can reclaim that stretch. Now let's take another slow, deep breath here. And when you get done, set your left foot down, uncross, and we'll change sides. Left ankle over the right knee. And if you're happiest on the floor, keep your right foot down. If you can pick up and hold on, great. Breathe, keep the back of your spine really long. Shoulder blades down, the back of your pelvis grounded. Relax your head back. Maybe you're adding a little sway side to side and observing, where do you get your best stretch here? Your best release for that outer left hip. Breathe deeply. Be patient. Good. Last 2 breaths or so here. And when you get done with this next slow breath, set your right foot down, uncross, straighten both legs out. Give them a long-legged windshield wiper flop side to side. Take your arms overhead, hook your thumbs, point your toes, take a little baby back bend and pull against your thumbs. Deep breath in, out through your mouth, and we've made it to Shavasana. Bring your arms out and down. You could stay like this with your legs out straight, Shavasana, traditional shape. Or you could opt for butterfly, bend your knees, knees wide, soles of the feet together. Good if you tend to store a lot of tension in your inner thighs. Or you could slide a pillow or a blanket behind your knees. Helpful if you get really tense in your hip creases, in your hip flexors, or in your lower back when you're stretched out on the floor. So support yourself however you best can, and then close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. particular, bring your mind down into your pelvis, in and around your pelvis. And encourage your pelvis to relax. Start with the front of your pelvis, your deep belly, your hip creases. And then from there, relax down the front of your thighs, all the way to the tops of your feet. And relax upwards from there, across your belly, up across your chest and rib cage. Relax your throat, relax your face. And feel your outer hips relaxing. Feel the pull of your outer hips toward the floor with gravity. Relax from your outer hips down your outer legs to your outer feet. And relax from your outer hips upward along the sides of your waist to your armpits. Relax your arms and shoulders. Relax the sides of your face. Relax the inseam of your legs from your inner thighs down to your inner feet. And relax the back of your pelvis. Relax your sacrum and your tailbone. Relax your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, down to your heels, to the soles of your feet. And from the back of your pelvis, relax upward through your lower back, all the way up your spine. Relax your mid-back, your upper back. Relax the back of your neck. Relax the back of your head. And now take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, sigh it out through your mouth, and gently start to bring some awareness to your fingers and toes. Open and close your hands a little bit, wiggle your toes, and then wiggle your wrists and ankles, stretch your arms overhead, and straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in again. Sigh it out through your mouth when you're ready. And bring your arms down, bend your knees slowly, and roll all the way over to one side for one more breath, all the way in, all the way out. And use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a seat when you're ready. And once you come up, inhale, stretch your arms open wide, and exhale, hands to your heart. Namaste.